Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today's topic is House of the Dragon.
Yeah, and today we've got Alex back with us.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah, good.
So it's a rainy Wednesday evening, just come back from CCF, but we thought, let's have a House of the Dragon discussion.
Especially since the final episode streamed a couple nights ago. Big ending.
Alright, let's start. Let's talk about the beginning first of all. Well, what did you all... Well, before it actually premiered, what did you...
Oh yeah, let's go way back. Alex.
Before it premiered, I'm not sure. It was after the 8th season of Game of Thrones, many people stopped watching, but because of House of Dragons, it was one of the HBO's highest ever ratings. 10 million watched it live, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first episode, the premiere of House of the Dragon, yeah.
Well, in my case, I pretty much just finished Game of Thrones, the whole series, a couple months back before House of the Dragon even came out. So I was fresh off Game of Thrones straight into some House of the Dragon, and man, I was super excited for this. I saw a couple of teasers on Instagram; those were pretty cool, and we saw the actors who were gonna play them, and I don't know. I think that kind of just hyped everything up, and the show really showed for it, and it was really good.
Yeah, there was a lot of expectations with the first episode when it came out, and I think it blew them away. Before that, everyone was like, oh, we don't think it's going to be good because the way season 8 ended, and they felt the showrunners would be bad, but we don't have Dumb and Dumber anymore. So at least we have, some decent writing and stuff. And it's a really fun TV series. Well, maybe not in your normal way, but it's really gruesome, it's gory, there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on.
And there's dragons.
Yeah, and dragons, of course.
That's the best part. Okay, first episode, premiere. Ooh.
Yeah. We don't have an intro. That's the weird thing. There's no normal intro for it.
I think what people were most looking forward to when they first started was Matt Smith, because that was a big hype for him.
Yeah,
It's the introducing his character Damon.
Mm-hmm.
There was you weren't entirely sure what it was, but it was what he'd be like.
Is he a villain? Is he a hero?
Yeah, over the course of House of Dragons, it kind of varied, didn't it? Because in the beginning, he was kind of shown as a very toxic character.
I guess in the first couple episodes, he is the villain.
Yeah.
In the first maybe 3 episodes.
But when you finally get to see the relationship build between Rhaenyra and Damon, he kind of
the relationship was there.
Yeah.
He definitely matured and found peace and almost made friends back with his brother again, and everything was all peaceful.
Well, his relationship with his brother was kind of rocky throughout.
Yeah, I think we've got to do a big spoiler warning right now, because this is just all going to be spoilers.
We're going to dive right into everything.
We're diving right into it, because, speaking about Matt Smith, had you guys known about his work before House of the Dragon?
Yeah, it's probably one of his most famous things was Doctor Who, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was going to say that.
The 12th Doctor, wasn't it?
I watched the whole of Matt Smith's era. How about you, Alex?
I wasn't a huge fan of Doctor Who growing up, but I do admit I did like Matt Damon. Matt Smith.
I haven't seen any of Matt Smith. I know he's in the Doctor Who thing, but living in Egypt for 10 years, you don't exactly get Doctor Who on any of your channels.
No, fair enough, yeah.
So, but I loved him. I loved him in this series. Probably my favorite character. I know everyone's favorite character is probably Damon, but
100%.
I don't care. I'm gonna own that.
Honestly, I'm gonna put this out there. King Viserys, he's my favorite character.
Yeah, in his last episode in
episode 8, I think.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
You really get to see a different side to him, how he was able to stand up for himself, which he didn't do a huge amount of, in the
previous episodes of the time jump.
Because in the books, people would be saying, "Oh, thank God that fat drunk is dead," and his final speech and his final episode in House of Dragons, people are saying he should get him an Emmy.
Yeah, it was so redeeming for the character, and Paddy Considine, who's the actor. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was in Hot Fuzz and The World's End. Those comedies.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was in that. So this is kind of a big departure for him doing this dramatic role, but he
Yeah.
was amazing in it.
A dramatic main role, which he did amazing on. The King Viserys.
I think we can all agree it's going to be a shame to see season 2 without him.
Yeah, well, it's basically the equivalent of Ned
Yeah,
from Game of Thrones. Season 1, he's basically the main character.
I mean, season 1 of Game of Thrones and season 1 of House of Dragons were kind of like structured the same.
Yeah,
Like Rhaenyra and
Almost the
Ned
families.
Stark, kind of the same situation. Then the
Rhaenyra.
death of the king, which then led to a unrightful ruler of the Iron Throne to then do some stuff that is a bit unfortunate, and then a massive death at the end of the season.
yeah, that's very true.
I
with
think
Ned or Lucerys.
I think comparing it with Game of Thrones, I do prefer House of Dragon episode 1 over Game of Thrones episode 1, because it really showed you episode 1 of House of Dragon that what you're gonna be watching is something gruesome, something kind of scary. They're not gonna hold back, and it's gonna be amazing. And Matt Damon with the jousting event and all
that
those
was
nights, that blew my
And
mind.
literally the first thing you saw of Daemon is when he executed a whole load of people, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. In the melee in the tournament, that tournament scene was done really well, and it really added some good action that was needed for the episode. Otherwise, it would have been bland.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the House of Dragon and the Game of Thrones did kind of have some differences with how House of Dragon they skipped years at a time.
Yeah.
Where it progressed really quickly, but Game of Thrones, the first season was kind of slow, kind of more in depth.
I guess so, yeah. Especially because I feel Game of Thrones season 1 has more characters,
Yeah,
and it's
more
for sure got
stories.
more storylines going on. You could go ahead and name about 7 that go on at the same time, and they interweave towards the end of the season. So you got Jon Snow, Daenerys, Cersei and Robert, and then Ned. All of that stuff goes down. Whereas in House of the Dragon, you've only really got 2.
It's more like the two families, and then the king, and then you have the other houses. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're both equally confusing, with all the different storylines in Game of Thrones, and then the time jumps
yeah.
in House of Dragons. With the time jumps, it definitely was a lot easier to get hold of with just the one storyline.
I think so, yeah.
Because they kept changing the actors, so all the kids would have about 5 different actors for the same person,
Yeah.
because they're just growing older. And then
But then the actress for, Rhaenys and Corlys stayed the same, and they didn't really age them, did they?
so that part was easy to understand. Another thing was I found it difficult, but remembering names, because they all were kind of similar.
A lot of the names, yeah, are super
Yeah.
similar.
Lucerys, Jesus.
I think there were there's three
Viserys.
different Aegons at one point. There's Aegon the Conqueror, Aegon the Alicent's kid, and then Rhaenyra's kid is
Yeah.
also Aegon.
You have 2
And then there's
Viseryses.
Aemond.
Aemond as well. It does not help at all.
And given the fact that Rhaenyra also has a kid called Viserys.
Yeah.
and King Viserys as well.
So it's 2
Two
Viseryses. Oh,
Yeah, and Lucerys and his brother both have
Viserys,
similar names.
Viserys.
Aemond and Aemond and Almond and Emond.
Almonds.
Yeah.
So many.
But if we just jump on quickly to the end of the first episode, when Rhaenyra's crowned as, well, not crowned, but she's made heir, that's a really good scene, and kind of drives her character for the first season.
I kind of love in that scene is how they interlinks the coronation of Rhaenyra with her father telling her about the Song of Ice and Fire.
That's good, yeah.
For all the people that House of Dragons, you could watch it by itself, but all the people that watched Game of Thrones,
They knew what that was.
They knew.
So
Thinking Jon Snow.
the prince that was promised, basically the whole prophecy for Game of Thrones, because we didn't mention it, but if you've not seen House of the Dragon, it takes place 170 years before Game of Thrones.
Yep.
So none of the people are around, but it's the same families and it's the same castles and the same places.
They did add a few new houses that we didn't see before, like Hightower and
Valarian.
Valarian, yeah.
Yeah.
because they didn't really mention Velaryon in Game of Thrones, even though it was like the only other house with Targaryen to escape Old Valyria. I wonder what would happen if you like had the Valyrian fleet versus the Game of Thrones.
The Iron Fleet.
The Iron Fleet, yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, because do you not remember like the massive ships that they came out with in season 8?
Yeah, like Euron's warships were massive, weren't they?
Yeah, and
that was crazy.
But the size of the fleet of the Velaryon, it would just be interesting to see how it lasts, because pretty much both of them could be.
The Velaryons like to have dragons. That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, some of them do. I mean, both their kids had one.
Yeah, but are they allowed to use
them? They're gonna beat the Iron.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not stupid like the Daenerys was and getting
Rhaegal shot. And one of them turned into a zombie.
She didn't need it. All she needed was Drogon to burn down everything.
That's true. Not a good choice for season 8, in my opinion, to have her become evil, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's grief, isn't it? I mean, she considered the dragons her kids, and her best friend's head was chopped right in front of her. So you understand she'd be a bit pissed.
She then threw away everything she worked hard for.
I mean, everyone says, season 8's so shit. But if you understand Jon Snow's opinion, why he did it, you kind of understand and you kind of get accepted.
Oh yeah, I totally understand why Jon Snow killed
Jon Snow's
Daenerys.
100% my favourite character of Game of Thrones. I respect for what he did, and also his speech that he did before he killed her. The women and children burned.
Yeah, that's good. Kit Harington was great.
Mate, such goosebumps. And I'm so happy about the rumours about the new Snow series as a sequel.
Coming before season 2 of House of the Dragon.
What do you think about that, Josh?
Quite possibly.
Oh man. Well, I love Jon Snow. Okay, I love him so much. So a series just based off of him and what happens after Game of Thrones, just with him. That would be pretty cool. And then I can't wait to see all the old characters in Game of Thrones just come back again.
That would be good. Who do you think should come back? 3 characters.
I don't like Sansa personally.
Nope,
I do not.
Throwing her in the sin bin. Okay,
but She'll
probably Josh.
Hot Pie, man.
You want to see Hot Pie? Yeah, he's such good comic relief.
He's.
I want to see Arya. I want to hear what she saw. Arya.
Yeah. Maybe she's the one that finds this new evil enemy or something like that. Because they're gonna have to come up with a new enemy.
An evil enemy.
Maybe a new kind of dragon.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe she goes to the Ashai place.
We had dragons from the east. What about dragons from the west?
Ooh, interesting.
Or a new kind of, or how about another mythical creature versus Drogon?
What do you mean another mythical creature, like a unicorn?
No,
Pegasus.
Like a griffin. Or
something
like that.
Griffin.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they're fucking huge.
Oh, Tyrion.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Tyrion.
No.
Yeah, I just feel like season 8 ruined him. And so does season 7, so...
Yeah, he was kind of useless.
I loved him from the start. I loved him from the start. His whole judge jury scene...
Well, yeah, that's because season 4 is the best season in my opinion, so
I have to say, I'm a big fan of season 6 and 7. I love season 7.
7?
Yeah, but that's the season where Jon Snow's the king. The king of the north.
Nah, I say 6 is better than 7.
That's something I'd want to see in the new...
Him actually being the king of Westeros.
Yeah, getting his crown back.
I
think that's what the story is gonna be.
That should be the story.
It's gonna be him trying to become and trying to get the crown.
There's no enemy in the north anymore.
No, just having...
He is the Northman.
Yeah,
exactly. They don't need somebody at the wall anymore because there's
no wall.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big hole in it,
and also the wall burned down.
Yeah.
What's the point?
There's dragons now.
Winter's gone. Winter's over.
Exactly, they beat the winter.
Yeah. Maybe the interesting thing, I said this to you the other day, Alex, have Bran be evil. I've seen a couple theories that actually...
I don't like that,
He knew the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
The first season, he saw a vision of Drogon burning down King's Landing.
Yeah.
He knew.
I'm pretty sure...
He probably knew he was going to
Bran was... King. If he wasn't evil, he was still working for his own good. Anyway, I think we strayed a bit from House of the Dragon.
Yeah, definitely. This will be a lot longer if we did get into this, trust me.
We need to have another just Game of Thrones only version.
Definitely.
Oh, that would be a long one.
Dude, we need a thing per season.
per season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a whole
exactly.
season.
like we quickly binge it, then do like a review.
Yeah.
That could be a good idea. Yeah, we'll see about that.
But
But
like you said, we strayed a
you
bit.
know what my favorite podcast segment is, Josh?
The religion segment. Oh. Oh, yeah.
So what
I
did
knew
y'all
that.
think of like the music in it?
I think they should have got like a new theme, like a main theme. Like they
For the
kind of
intro, or-
yeah, for the intro. Like they kind of reused it from Game of Thrones. I think it should have been like, you know, that music that Daenerys had every time she did something cool.
Yeah,
I think that should have been the music.
just put in the Daenerys cool music,
Yeah.
and it's just instantly better. It's just
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's House Targaryen.
it is
like-
House Targaryen. Yeah,
I mean, that just represents, doesn't it?
And talking
How
about
did it?
the intro, I think I gotta say, but I think I prefer Game of Thrones' intro.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Because the House of Dragons is cool, seeing like all the blood and like the families. And
It
they're,
gets
like,
old
different-
after a
Yeah,
while.
but it tells you the story of the intro. It shows you how like they usurped the house of the Targaryens, how Robert took over.
It doesn't go that far.
Oh no, it shows you how
It only goes up to
how Robert kills the dragon with the wolf and the lion.
Oh, you're talking about the Game of Thrones intro?
yeah,
Yeah. It's got
Yeah.
a really cool story to
yeah.
it.
That's why
It's got
it's
Aegon the
definitely a-
Conqueror. It's better. It's
Oh,
way
yeah.
better.
And also they show new places, and they're like, oh, we're gonna be seeing this really
Yeah,
cool
and it
castle.
updates. There's like,
Which
whereas House of the Dragon, if you watch the intro, it only starts in episode 2.
Wait,
It's super weird.
is Vagar's like skull in the crypt in the crypt? You don't actually see it, do you?
No.
You just see Valyrian.
Spoilers. I know what's gonna happen in House of the Dragon because I read the book. So I don't want you to know how it all ends.
I think I know what you're thinking of.
Josh doesn't know
I
that.
think I know too, right?
We won't say. We won't say.
That guy kills that guy, and that
Joe-
was-
Something we need to talk about is Aemond. Like,
Oh, Aemond.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a cool guy.
yeah, he's like, you don't see like the tension between him and Daemon. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so cool. Like,
But I think there's also like some admiration there.
yeah,
Aemond kind of like thinks, okay, Daemon's pretty cool.
yeah.
He's, he's literally like him though.
Yeah.
He's got like that.
Just
very,
with a
like,
I think he's
Yeah.
idolizing him. He's got like the kind of he's a leaner. He's always like leaning on the wall.
I think he's kind. I think Aemon's kind of like Daemon was in the first episode, like kind of nuts.
Yeah.
like willing to kill everybody.
he's the second brother. He probably wanted to be king or at least be acknowledged
oh,
on
he
his father's
definitely
council.
wanted to be king.
Because remember, Daemon, he just wanted to be made hand. That was all he wanted instead of Otto Hightower, the snake. So,
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens with Aemon in the future. Whether he, becomes hand, maybe like
maybe he kills another of
Another
Rhaenyra's
kid.
child.
oh
Because that episode is pretty crazy. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
The
after
fight between Arax and Vhagar was very cool.
that
It
was very that
it was a
very
bit of an
nice.
unfortunate ending and kind of graphic.
Yeah,
how he
poor
just
Lucerys. He did not deserve that.
yeah, I know.
I didn't
He
see
was
it, guys.
he was just going as a messenger to,
Something
help
I
his
kept-
mum.
You know what I kept on seeing on like Instagram? It's like showing Daenerys like burning down King's Landing, but she's like doing the same thing that Aemon did with Vhagar. Like, no Vhagar, no Drogon, obey me. Like
Yeah.
how like Drogon like kind of lost control.
I think I saw that. It's an interesting
Yeah.
side to it. How you have the dragons are out of control and you can't really control them. I think Viserys in the first episode said that. He said dragons were not a power to be trifled with, and he's like, we can't control these beasts.
It almost also kind of represents the riders too, because he's still kind of immature, just like how Daemon was immature at the beginning, and he's just going out his way, and then he suddenly he slips up, he makes a mistake, which which will lead to something crazy.
And I guess the appearance of the dragon also kind of
yeah.
reflects the rider. So
Right.
Daemon and Caraxes. Caraxes has this really long, weird neck, and it's kind of it's deformed. The dragon's deformed.
Yeah.
It can't really fly properly. It's got extra wings and stuff.
So it's very like scary, but also kind of
well, not really deformed, kind of evolved, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a different being. Kind of like how Daemon is just different altogether.
Yeah.
We're putting some English.
Like with like Daenerys and her dragons in Game of Thrones, they were all like the exact same because they're descendants from Dreamfire.
Yeah, they are. They're the same hatching. Yeah.
The princess's dragon, which you do see in a couple times in House of Dragons. Not great detail.
Yeah, it's
But-
in the dragon pit,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's like, but in House of Dragons you get to see like a massive variety with something. Like,
Just wait until season
Yeah.
2. You'll see Sunfire, which is
I mean, you did.
which is Aegon's
You
one.
did actually see Sunfire. In
Did
it.
you?
Yeah, during the funeral of the Valyrian girls.
Oh,
The
Lena,
Valyrian.
and they're
Yeah,
flying
you
around.
know how all the dragons were like flying around.
Yeah.
On the rock, you get to see Sunfire.
Oh,
Whoa.
basically, Sunfire is like this really cool dragon that shimmers.
Yeah,
in like the moonlight.
He's kind of like Daemon, like kind of really. Daemon's dragon is like really skinny. Like
Skinny and scrawny. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a mixture between Dreamfire and Serax.
Let's
Right.
move on. I'm gonna ask you guys, what was your favorite action scene from the whole show?
Shotgun off first.
I'm gonna need time to think because that.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna take this one from you guys. I'm gonna say the battle with the crab feeder in episode 3.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That was so sick. I'll briefly explain it and maybe show some pics. So there's a big battle with the Triarchy. Daemon's forces are depleted, and he goes in like Rambo style and just kills 20 guys. He gets surrounded, and then a dragon comes and saves him. It's so sick. And then the whole thing ends with him decapitating the crab feeder.
Alright, I'm just gonna go for the obvious here. The battle between Vhagar and Arax.
Okay, that was good.
It was good.
The season finale, so
Very-
much tension.
Like, what also I loved was like the tension before the battle actually started.
Oh yeah,
It's like
when
how,
he shows
how he like first landed, you saw like the eye, and also Vhagar when he first landed, how you just saw him in the background.
he was so big, like
Yeah.
Godzilla sized.
Yeah.
So much.
Alright, I'm gonna have to do one up on you guys. I believe that the best action scene was on episode 1. I loved the whole fighting pit. The whole angles of the camera and him just falling over onto the side of the pool.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
The
And it
horse,
keeps-
the horse
yeah.
just keeps going and
But
he's scraping
Daemon
it.
didn't win, and there were no dragons.
But it was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
man. The sword fighting,
Kristen Cole versus Damon
Cole.
was sick.
I don't like Kristen Cole anymore.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to get on that. So Kristen Cole, initially he's like a cool character who's really nice to Rhaenyra, and then he just turns into complete after the
because
time
he
jump.
was like, oh, let's get married,
I
even
know.
though I'm a knight and I swore an oath not to. But
Well, anyway, we've got to say goodbye to Alex. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us tonight.
Cheers, mate.
thanks, God. Ciao, ciao.
See ya.
Bye, Alex. See you later.
Wait, did you send my brother something?
Yes, and drop. Yeah.
Alright, see you guys.
Bye.
I don't think I asked you. I put it in the jar.
We didn't give him the code.
Oh, Well, Grant!
Okay, it's just me. Josh is gone to help Alex. So, yeah, House of the Dragon is really good. If you've not watched it, give it a watch. It's on. You can find it on Now TV, Sky. Anyway, yeah. So, the Reed's podcast. We're coming back this year. New room. This will be our permanent podcasting space.
Which we'll definitely use all the time. So thank you, Mrs. Myers, for helping painting and just... We have some pretty insane plans. I mean, obviously it's a podcast and you guys can't see the room, but I don't know, eventually...
Maybe if we move to video, get enough subs.
Subs, get enough likes.
Subs and dubs.
But we do have some good ideas. Put some LEDs around. Get like a recording sign on the outside of the door, so you could always like turn it on or
Yeah,
off.
it
or
would look
something.
sick for the inside.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe even get a couch in here.
Yeah, we're thinking of getting a couch, making it comfy. It's gonna be sick. Anyway, let's talk more House of the Dragon. Let's delve even deeper. So I wanted to ask, like, what did you think of the soundtrack, the new soundtrack that Ramin made?
I think it definitely gave me kind of like knights, dragons, kind of like kind of a vibe. Same as like Game of Thrones. It's very similar to Game of Thrones, but they do depict like their character very well. So if you had a character with that song, like if it started playing, you could very much see and understand. Oh yeah, I'm feeling this kind of like dark vibe, or I'm feeling this wise, mature vibe or something.
Oh yeah, or if someone's like being a traitor, you get that, or if they're a snake.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more interesting characters that doesn't have a lot of screen time in season 1 is Laris Strong, and he's this character who's kind of a side character for the first 5 episodes. Yeah, we call him Middle Finger. Yeah,
he's an absolute dick. That's why.
And he's like
he's like Littlefinger.
He's like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. So if you know your Game of Thrones, he's a snake. He's always going behind people's backs.
Machiavellian, man.
Machiavellian, capital M. Yeah.
He's a villain that we all know will be the reason why the family is just fighting each other because of him. He's almost pretty much like the Hand. He's almost probably more powerful than her because he just keeps manipulating.
Yeah,
her.
the queen isn't very powerful anymore, is she?
No. Well,
because now Otto's Hand, and Laris is in there, and she's in debt to him.
So it's almost like Otto and Laris are the ones in charge.
Yeah, there's not really a king.
The king and
the king
her,
is just a puppet.
Yeah, her child. They're not going to do anything with him other than just use him. And if we look at the other side, the other family, the Black family, the Targaryen family, Rhaenyra and Daemon. No,
they've got a bit of a weird relationship going on. Like they seem like they love each other in some twisted way. How an uncle and niece can marry and have a child, have children. It's a bit odd. But hey, it's Westeros. They do the incest.
What happens in Westeros stays in Westeros.
Oh, for sure. What happens in you?
But even with her family, it doesn't look like there's only one person in power. Like the kids, they also show power. Even the Valerians, they're also part of the kind of the black team.
I love Corlys. Him and Rhaenys's conversations are so good. The writers that they got on board, they turned about 100 pages from a book into an entire season and still made it amazing. For the upcoming seasons, we've got tons of content to go through.
We've only seen a couple of deaths and wars, and you've told me there are
you know the crab feeder battle.
Yeah,
that was 2 lines in the book.
That was 2 lines.
Yeah, it basically just mentions the Triarchy went to the Stepstones, took it over. Daemon went down and with Corlys and killed them all, and he came back as like a hero of Westeros. So I don't think they're milking it because this season was necessary. There's a lot of people saying that you could have jumped straight into episode 5 and not seen the rest, but you gotta have that build up.
No, and with a movie or series like that, you kind of need that development, and it kind of is a bit different to the book.
And with the TV show, you want to know about the characters, you want to get to like them, and
who not to like.
aka Laris and Otto. I hate them so much in this season. But Alicent as well. She turns from a really lovable kind of quiet, shy character to
who's good friends with Rhaenyra.
Yeah, who's friendly in the court and just everyone likes her, to being mortal enemies with Rhaenyra post episode 2 now?
Pretty much.
So there's a really stark difference, and it's some great writing to see. I actually can't wait to see how they play it out in the later seasons. So Josh, does House of the Dragon get your seal of approval?
House of the Dragon 100% gets my seal of approval. Jamie, does it get your seal of approval?
I think it does get my seal of approval.
Man, we're always giving seal approvals. We need to watch something shit and then seal of approval.
No seal of approval.
Don't even bother to search it up.
We should do that once a week, just do bad movie
What do we
reviews.
watch? Morbius.
Morbius.
We've always had this idea where we kind of go,
Just watch Morbius because we never wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And we just watch Morbius one day and then do a review and just absolutely
crap
slate
on
it. Yeah.
I mean, Matt Smith is in it, but
Matt Smith, he's just like in a different life for me. It's okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's okay. He can be in bad stuff. He makes it good.
He does make it good. It's the only good part of Morbius.
It's him dancing shirtless. Yeah.
That's literally all I know. And that's the only part I've heard is actually good.
So what would you give House of the Dragon out of 10? Now, keep in mind,
it's only season 1.
Season 1 only, and you gave you put down Spider-Man No Way Home to a 6. I'm pretty sure Ghostbusters Afterlife is a 7, and Batman's an 8.
House of Dragons. Okay. I love the plot. I love the characters. I love where it's heading, and it's heading in a really good way.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot wait for the next seasons. And I think I'm gonna give it, just because I've only seen season 1. I'm gonna give it.
Oh no.
Well, it's nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
That's way more generous than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking you were gonna do like 7 and say, oh.
I was thinking of 7, but then I was like,
it's actually kind of good when you think about it.
And if you think about, if I choose 7 and I said like Homecoming or whatever was 6th, and it's like,
yeah, you can.
Then I gotta drop that all the way back down to 3, and then I gotta say that one's 7. Then
you know, I'm gonna go with 8. I think there's some things they can work on. Apart from that, I don't have any faults with this. Maybe some CGI here and there is a bit oofy, but given as they're animating dragons the entire time, you gotta cut them some slack.
Also, given how all these new like actors that are in the series are like really new and probably like their first thing that they've ever done as the acting career, and they've done a really good job. So, well,
you know who I was thinking? You know, there's this one scene, right, where Rhaenyra's getting marriage proposals, and this one kid is like, he literally looks like a 10-year-old.
Oh yeah, and he's like, I want to marry you.
I will marry you, and I will protect you, and I will make sure that you'll never have any troubles. And then this kid in the background,
some dickhead in the crowd,
you're an idiot, basically. And then he straight up says, "All right, I'm gonna kill you," and he just takes out his sword and
decides to
him.
slide him. Yeah,
and they have a fight. And I was looking at him. He's not done any big acting roles, but he was also just in Andor, which is just crazy. So this guy is doing some big stuff.
But also the kids, like the children, they chose really good actors, and also the young versions of Rhaenyra, just Millie Alcock, she was really good.
Yeah. Also Emma Darcy is so good.
Yeah.
And Fabian, I don't know if I'm saying
Fabian,
right, but Fabian Franzel is just so good as Kristen, and his Instagram is just a treasure.
Oh, he's a funny dude.
Yeah. So is Paddy Considine's Instagram. It's a treasure.
I hate him in the series now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Fabs is a pretty funny dude.
He's so good. And but out of the kid actors of Rhaenyra and whatever, I gotta say that Eamon's the best kid actor.
Is that the one with curly hair or the straight hair one?
The older, the one that gets the eye stabbed out.
Oh yeah,
Because he's got this one. We'll end with this. He's got this one sick line. He's like, "I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon." So sick.
That's pretty crazy.
And with that, that's Josh and I signing off. Thanks for joining us on the Reid Renegade.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Reid's Renegade Rebooted and listening to us, Jamie and Josh.
Reid's Renegade is a Reid's production. We are produced by James, Jamie, and Josh.
Sound designed by Jamie. Art direction by James. Marketing by Josh. Edited by Jamie.
Thanks for tuning in to Reid's Renegade, and we'll see you soon.